Okay, guys, good morning, everyone. So let's begin here. So let's start with the Azure Databricks. So as we know that the Azure Databricks is nothing but it is one of the cloud service, guys. It is one of the cloud service, everyone. So the Azure Databricks is one of the cloud service. Okay. And this cloud service is provided by the Azure. It is provided by the Azure, where it is used to perform the following jobs here. That is nothing but we can go with the data migration. And then we have the data integration can also be performed. And then we can use the data summarization. Okay, guys. So we can perform what is it? The following jobs using the Azure Databricks. Okay. So wherein we have what is it? The data migration, and then we have the data integration, and as well as the data summarization. So these jobs we can perform it by using the Azure Databricks. And when it comes to this, basically the Azure Databricks, the whole process of the Azure Databricks starts from the collection of data, guys. So data. So data means what? Data is nothing but the information. And always this information, we get it from the various business. Am I right? So the data is generated at the business level, guys. The data is generated at the business level. So when we talk about the business, whatever business we can have, guys, live streaming process. So we can get the data from the live streaming process. So what is the live streaming process, guys? The live streaming process is nothing but the data which we get it from the stock market, where the data keeps on radiating. Okay, stock market, that's a share market. Okay. And then we can also get the data from the live cricket match. Okay. Okay, live cricket match. So these are all the various sources from where we get the data as a live stream. Then apart from this, guys, we can also get the data here. Yes, we can also get the data or the information from the business, wherein everyone, we can also get the data or the information from the business, wherein, guys, everyone. So we can say it here, we can get the data or the information from the business, and whereas it can be, what's it? We can collect the data from the IoT sensors. Okay, IoT sensors. So what type of information will be collected here from the by the IoT sensors? This, okay, basically the IoT sensors, okay, collects the following. That is nothing but the temperature, pressure, gas, okay, and then we have the speed. All these are calculated by using the, okay, that is nothing but the IoT sensors. Okay. So apart from this, guys, apart from this, we can also get the data. Yes, we can also get the data here or the information. We can also get the data or the information, everyone. We can also get the data or the information here. We can also get the data or the information from the business. And this business can be, what is it, guys? This all information or the business can be, what is it, guys? Yeah, you can say social networking sites. Social networking sites. So already you know this. The social networking sites are nothing but what? You can say, guys, here it has a Facebook. Then we have LinkedIn. Okay. Then Twitter, etc. So these are all the sources of getting the data. So whatever the data we collect it, or whatever the data we get it here from these sources, it is called as, what is it guys? Big data. It is called as what? Big data. So what is my big data guys? Big data is nothing but the massive amount of data collected. That is nothing but the huge amount of data, the huge volume of the data is called as the big data. Wherein, guys, everyone, wherein the big data is actually classified into three categories. What is that? The first one, we can get it as a structured data, guys. And the second one, we can get it as what? Semi-structured data. And the third one, we can get it as what? Unstructured data. Unstructured data. So we can get what? Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. You can get it what? Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. So guys, when you talk about the structured data, so structured data means what? The data which is kept in the proper form of a table. That is in the form of, what is that? Rows and columns. The data which is created in the form of, what is it? Rows and columns is called as what? Everyone. So this is called as what, guys? Everyone, the structured data. Okay. So yeah, what is it? Let us say, for example, here, I'm just taking up, okay. Suppose here you have, what's it? Can you say name, ID, and salary? These are the three columns you have it. So can you see here? This is the data we have it, wherein I'm using it. What is it? Alien, something like this, and the salary is, let us say, 40,000 here. And then you have, what's it, guys, everyone? The next one is Nancy, 50,000. This is nothing but called as what? The structured data. So where the proper format of the data, which the user can understand it very easily, is called as, what is it, guys? This data is called as what? The structured data. This data is called as what? The structured data. So everywhere, always you get the data in this form, that is called as a structured data. Okay, where these are nothing but the columns and these are nothing but the rows for the same data. That's it. Okay. Then we have the data that is called as what? Semi-structured data. Means what, guys? The semi-structured data is a data which the user can understand it, but up to a limited extent. That means totally the user cannot understand it. Okay, because it is in the semi-structured form, such as the data which is recorded in the form of, what is it? JSON files, or the data recorded in the form of, what is it? XML files, or the data which is recorded in the form of a HTML files. So guys, this data is called as what? Semi-structured data, where the user can understand it, but not fully, guys. But not fully. Okay. So let us see first of all what is a JSON. We have it here. So when we talk about the JSON, guys, everyone, the JSON stands for what, everyone? Java script object notation file. JavaScript object notation file. So here you have, what's it? The data. It is in what? JavaScript object notation file. JavaScript object notation file. That is called as what? JSON file. JavaScript object notation file. Okay. The data which is recorded in the form of a semi-structured is nothing but, we can say, JSON file. So when we talk about the JSON file, guys, the same data is recorded here in the form of, what is that? The JSON. And here the data always recorded in the form of a key value pair, guys. So key value and pair. So what is the key? What is the value? So guys, keys are nothing but the column names. These all are called as keys here, guys. And value means what? The value which we store inside the columns is called as the value. Together, both of them are called as what? Pair here, guys. So hence we can say key value pair. So I'll write it here in the JSON format, the same data. What is it, guys? I'll write it in the same format. What is it? The first one I can say, guys. Okay. Here I can say, guys, the first one as the curly braces. Here I can say, guys, the name. What is the name you have it? The name, it is in the alien, that is in the character. So here, whenever you have a character data, it is put in the double quotes like this. And then you have what's that? The next row is also there. The next one I can say, guys, the next column, I can say ID. Okay, ID. And always make sure the keys are placed in the curly braces you have it. Then again, the value. What is the value you have it? 54. So here you have a numeric value now. So this is not placed under the any kind of this thing. That is nothing but the quotes. Again, you have what's at the next one? Yeah. Again, you have the third key here. Third key is what? Salary. And now, and the value for the salary is what is it, guys? Let us say 40,000. So here, can you see? This is the data you have, where you want to write the second row after this. Okay. So take a comma after the brace is closed. And then afterwards, everyone, just write it down the second row here. The second row you can say, guys. The second row is what? Again, you have what is that? Instead of alien, you can give it here the name as a second row, Nancy. And here you have what's that? The 53. And instead of 40,000, 50,000 will be there. That's it. So here you have what's that, guys, everyone? Here you have what's that? This is called as a semi-structured data. It is called as what? The semi-structured data, where the data is recorded in the form of what? JSON format. Okay. So whereas the next one you have it as what? Unstructured data, guys. So unstructured data means what, everyone? Unstructured data is nothing but the unstructured data is always okay. So it does not follows any structure. It does not follows any structure. Unstructured means what? It does not follows any structure. Okay. Such as what is it? You have it, the photos in your mobile phone. And then you have the videos. This guys, photos, videos, and then you have the chat history. Chat history, and then you can also say voice notes. All this is called as what, guys, everyone? This is called as a unstructured data. This is called as unstructured data, where always in the real time, guys, you will be dealing 80% of the data. 80% of the data you will be having the unstructured. Only 20% of the data you will get it in this form, guys. Only 20% of the data. Yes, everyone. 20% of the data you will get it in this form. That is called as what? Yes, 20% of the data you will get it in this form. That is called as what? Structured or the semi-structured. Only 20%. But 80% you will deal with what is that, guys? Structured data, unstructured data only. Okay. So here you have what's that? The data types, you can say structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. But now, guys, the next one, how to store this, or where does the Azure stores this data? Whether it is structured or semi-structured or unstructured, the data will be stored in the form of a Azure storages. What is that? Azure storages. The data will be stored in the form of what is it, guys? Azure storages. Azure storages. So here you can store the data in the form of what is that? Azure storages. So how many storages you have it? Basically, if you calculate it, it will be 90 plus storage always. You'll have what is that? 90 plus storages into the Azure to store the data. 90 plus storages into the Azure to store the data, guys. Okay. So what are those? The first one I can say, guys, the Azure blob storage. But this is the very basic storage in Azure where it can store, guys. It is the very basic storage in Azure where it can store any kind of data. Any kind of data means what, guys? You can store the semi-structured. Then you can store the structured. You can store the semi-structured, structured, and as well as the unstructured. Unstructured. So any kind of data, we can store it into the Azure Blob storage. That is nothing but if at all you want to store the data, we can store it into the Azure Blob storage. Azure Blob storage. Okay, guys, we can store the data in the form of what? Azure Blob storage. But here it can store a limited form of data, not the unlimited data. Limited data will be stored here, guys. So what is the limit for storing the data? 500 TB. You cannot store the data exceeding 500 TB. You can store the data maximum of what is that? 500 TB data you can store. That is called as 500 terabytes. That's it. Now, the next question, if the data exceeds the 500 TB, at that time, where to store it? For that, the Azure has come out with a solution by introducing one more storage that is called as what? Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Azure Data Lake Gen 2, guys. Where the Azure Data Lake Gen 2 can also store all the type of data. That is semi-structured, structured, and as well as this unstructured. You have it, guys. But this is called as what, guys, everyone? This is called as what? Unlimited storage. It is called as what? Unlimited storage. That means there is no limitation for storing this data, guys. There is no limitation for storing this data. You can store up to whatever the extent you want, you can store it here. It's okay. There is no limitation for storing the data. Whether you have the structure, that is whether you have a structured, semi-structured or unstructured, any of the data you can store it in the unlimited format. That means there is no limit for storing the data here. That is called as a Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Prior to that, we also had one more storage that is called as what, guys, everyone? I'm writing in the middle here. Azure Data Lake Gen 1 was there, but now it is retired. Now you need not worry on this. It is already retired. It is already retired now. So you need not worry. But just for the knowledge sake, I'm telling you, you also had the Azure Data Lake Gen 1. Then it has introduced and came out with the Azure Data Lake Gen 2. And now whatever the data is there in the Azure Data Lake Gen 1, it recommends to store the data or migrate the data into the Gen 2 storage. That's it. Then apart from this, guys, you also have the storage. The third one I can say, guys, that is called as what? Azure SQL database. So guys, Azure SQL database. So what is the Azure SQL database? You have it. So the Azure SQL database can store, guys, the following. What is that? Only the structured data, guys. No other form of the data, because database now, database can store only one kind of data. What is it? It is called as what? Structured data. No other format of data is supported. And about the limitation, as per the capacity of your database, you can store the limit. That's not a problem here. So here you have what's that? Azure SQL database. That means using of SQL on the cloud environment is called as what? Azure SQL database. And the next one, what is it? You have it? Azure, guys, Cosmos database, where it is also called as what? No SQL database. Where it is also called as what, guys? Everyone, no SQL database. So when you have this no SQL database, guys, you can store two types of data. What is that? Semi-structured and structured. Unstructured is not supported here, guys. Semi-structured and that is nothing but the structured. Both the data you can store it in the Cosmos. Why? Because you have the no SQL. That means that when there is no SQL, there is no restriction for the data to store. Whatever the data you want, you can store it into the same, guys. Okay. And the next one, fifth one, you have it as, guys, Okay, everyone. Azure, okay. Azure, what is it? Virtual machine. So if you have the virtual machine, guys, here you can install any database. So here we can store only the structured data, guys. Mostly in the virtual machines, we store the structured data. Why? Because it is virtual machine is used to install it parallelly into the cloud system. Whatever that is, you can say Azure SQL database or Azure Oracle, that is nothing but Oracle database or any other kind of a that is nothing but on-prem databases. You can install it onto the virtual machine, the Azure system, guys. So hence, it is nothing but called as what? Azure virtual machines. And the next one, sixth one, guys, you can say, so guys, Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Synapse Analytics. So guys, here you can say everyone, the Azure Synapse Analytics means what? This is called as a data warehouse of Azure, guys, everyone. This is called as what? The data warehouse of Azure. It is called as what? The data warehouse of Azure. Azure Synapse Analytics is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure. Data warehouse of Azure. So when you have the data warehouse of Azure, when you have the data warehouse of Azure, guys, we can store it here, everyone. It is called as the data warehouse of Azure. Data warehouse of Azure. Data warehouse of Azure. Okay. We can say it as what? Data warehouse of Azure. So as this is a data warehouse, it can or it supports to store only the structured data, guys. No other type of data we can say except the structure, because the data warehouse is the final layer of the data storage, guys. The final layer of the data storage. So always the cleansed data or the proper formatted data will be stored here into the, what is it, guys? You have it as what? Stored into the Azure Synapse Analytics. Okay. So now, guys, these are all the some of the storages you can say, guys. But as we discussed that we have altogether 90 plus storages. How many, guys? 90 plus storages into the that is nothing but Azure. So how to see that? So for that, can you see here? First of all, you have to log into the page called azure.com, everyone. And then afterwards, you require to provide your details on this. That is such as your mail ID, okay, mail ID, your debit card, credit card details, etc. Wherein it will charge you 2 rupees initially, and that will be refunded to you in the coming 8 days, guys. Okay. So here you will have it. So azure.com, then afterwards, you will be rerouted back to the portal.azure.com, portal.azure.com, portal.azure.com. So this is the web page actually where we are going to see it here. So now I'll take you to the web page as well. So guys, here you have it. Just a minute, everyone. So now I'm sharing with the screen here. Now everyone is able to see the screen, I think so. Now guys, can you share? This is the web page, I'm opening it. So the whole process you're going to work here and see here itself. Okay, guys. So first of all, what is it you have it? You have to go with what is it? Azure.com, everyone. Just to see on this. This is the Azure, that is something but .com. And wherein you require to, can you see, get started here. You can just click on the get started here. And now you will have two models here, pay as you go and try for free. So initially you can try for free, guys. Later on, if you wish or if you feel it is important, then you can switch it over to, what is it, guys? You can switch it over to the, yes, everyone, you can switch it over to the required, pay as you go model. Now it is free enough for you, I think so. So let's click on this try Azure for free and sign up, because already I'm signed up. It's rerouting it to my mail ID, everything. If not, it will ask you the details. So once all the details are filled in, simply you require to click the sign in option here, guys. And once we click on the sign in option, can you see it? Here, it will reroute you back to this page. This page is called as what? Portal.azure.com. This page is called as what? Portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com, guys. Everyone. So this is your page, guys. This is your page, portal.azure.com, wherein you have all the services here on this. So click on the more services, guys. Everyone. Now can you see here? These are all the services we have it. These are all the services. So just come down and check one by one here, guys. See, these are some AI plus machine learning services. And the second one is the analytical services. And the third one is the compute. Okay. Okay. Compute is one of the type of storage only, you can see. And then can you see the direct storage services are here. Containers. 11 storages are container storages. Okay. This is one of the storage, guys. And again, you have 19 days. 19 is one of the storages. That is 19 databases storages you have it. So 19 plus 11, you have 30 storages here itself. Okay. So if you go down, you'll find more storages, guys. Again, you have storages. 17 more storages are there. 17 more means what? 47 storages. So if you just look it here, directly your 47 storages are there. Apart from this, if you calculate one by one, in every storage, you'll get 90 plus storages for sure, guys. So these are all the storages we have in Azure, guys. And these storages are common, whether you use the data factory here, everyone, whether we use the, guys, whether we use the data factory, this is the data factory ADF, or whether we use the Databricks, that is called as ADB, or whether you go with the Synapse, or we go with the, that is something but machine learning, or you go with any other one, guys, service. So here, these storages are common for all. Okay, we can use these storages. Commonly, we can use these storages. Okay, commonly, these storages are used here. That's okay. So now, guys, let's just begin with the Azure Databricks first of all. So I will give you the basics of this Azure Databricks, and then we will move further with the process here. Okay. So guys, the next one you have the Azure Databricks. So to begin with this Azure Databricks here, guys, we require to set up the following properties. First of all, we require to have a resource group, everyone. Resource group, which is essential. Resource group is nothing but just like a main folder, guys. Suppose you have a main folder here, everyone. Your main folder, there is a folder here. And now in this folder, you have many files are there. Okay. Just a minute. I'm taking my desktop. Okay, guys. You have many folders. That's nothing but you have a folder here. And inside this folder, you have many files. If you delete this folder, the whole files will be deleted or not, everyone? Yes. In fact, it is deleted. So whereas this kind of a folder, if you create it in Azure, this is called as a resource group. So that's it, guys. So here we can do what? Everyone, we can create a resource group. So okay, we can have one or more resource group. It doesn't matter. But every resource group, guys, will have one more property that is called as what? Workspace. So we can have what's that? One or more workspaces given in a resource group. Guys, we have what? One or more workspaces given in a resource group. That's it. Okay. We have what? One or more workspaces given in a resource group. So we have what? One or more workspaces given in a resource group. Okay, guys. We have one or more workspaces given in a resource group. Yeah, what is that? One or more workspaces given in a resource group. Okay. So now guys, what is a workspace? Everyone, what is a workspace? Workspace is nothing but everyone. Okay, I'll write it down the hierarchy first, then we'll explain you each one of them. But under the workspace, guys, under the workspace, everyone, under the workspace, you can have, what is it, guys? Everyone, you can have clusters. You can have what? Cluster. And under the cluster, the final layer is, what is it? You will have it? Notebook. Here you will not have pipelines, guys. Here you will have, what's it? Notebook. Here your what's it? Notebook, guys, everyone can. So here your what's it? Notebook. So we can say, guys, resource group, workspace, cluster, and notebook. So this is the hierarchy which we'll be having. Yes, this is the hierarchy which we will be having here into the Azure Databricks. So what is that you have it? First is the resource group, which is the main folder, and workspace. Workspace means what? It allows multiple users, guys. It allows multiple users to work into the single session. It allows, I'm writing it here, it allows multiple users to work into a single session. That means in the same session, guys, in the same session, okay, multiple users can work. That means one data engineer, one data scientist, one database architect, all of them, they can work together with the help of the workspace. So workspace allows multiple users to work into the single session. That should. Then you have what's that? Cluster. So cluster means what, guys? Group of machines. Group of machines working like a single machine. Group of machines working like a single machine is called as what's that, guys? Group of machines working like a single machine is called as a cluster. Where every cluster, guys, everyone, where every cluster has two type of machine. What are those machines? The first machine, you can say, guys, everyone, the first machine is called as a master node. Node means machine, guys, and your worker node. You always have one master node, guys. You will always have one master node. Workers can be many. Limitation for having a worker here, guys. You can have multiple workers here. But when it comes to the notebook, notebook is nothing but this is called as what? User interface book, guys. It is called as what? User interface book. Means what? All the information related to the, yes, guys, that is nothing but the user defined code, whatever the code you have it, that you will write it on the notebook. So in the following languages, what are those? It can be the Scala language, Scala, or else it can be the R, it can be the Python, Scala, R, Python, and SQL. Guys, all these are the languages we can use it in the notebook of, okay. And one more, that is called as PySpark, guys, where we are going to see it on the PySpark mostly, okay. So what is that? You have it Scala, R, Python, SQL, and PySpark. So PySpark means what? It's a combination of Spark plus Python, guys. Spark plus Python is called as what? PySpark. Python is called as what? PySpark. So guys, this is the structure of the Azure Databricks. So now what is a workspace? So basically, guys, everyone, can you see here? Just have a look on this, everyone. Can you see here, guys? This is the Zoom link, you have it, everyone. In the Zoom link, you have the Zoom link, guys, everyone. So you have a Zoom link, guys, everyone. Zoom link is there, huh? And this Zoom link, guys, this Zoom link, whatever you have it, everyone. This Zoom link, whatever you have it, it is allowing, see, right now you have 5 participants are there. So including me. So guys, these 5 participants are able to join it or not, everyone here. That means the Zoom link is providing interface for all of us to join and take the classes in the single session or not, everyone. Yes, guys, please tell me. Yeah. The Zoom
Yes, sir.
link is, the Zoom link is allowing all of us to work into the session. That is, only one Zoom link is providing the interface for all of us to work. So that means here you can say, guys, the same like your Zoom link, you have a workspace. The same like a Zoom link, you have a workspace, guys, which allows multiple users to work into the single session, just like the same. And then you have the cluster, guys. What is cluster? Cluster is nothing but group of machines working like a single machine. Group of machines working like a single machine is called as, what is that, guys? Is called as, what is that? Cluster. So now, guys, can you see here? You have two type of users are there. Can you see here, everyone? Just open this, participants list. Can you see here, everyone? You have two type of users are there. One is the host, another one is a guest. Am I right or not? Everyone. One is the host and rest of all are guests here. Am I right? So host means what? Host is a person who has right to end the session, record the session, okay, put it in the mute, whatever the changes you want, he can do it. Master rights. The same way here, guys. And the next one, what is the idea of it? The next one is what? Rest of all the guests here. So in the same way. And now together, this master and worker nodes, also, sorry, the host and guest together is called as on the meeting now. The same way here also, the cluster. The cluster is like a meeting here, where the cluster has, what is that? Two type of users. One is the master node and worker node. Master node means what? Host here. Worker node means what? Guest here. So as in this meeting, you can have only one, that is nothing but host. In the same way here also, you can have, what's that? Single master node you can have. Worker nodes can be many, guys. Worker nodes can be many. Means we can have many guests in this meeting. Right now we have 5 members. So if you want, we can have 500 also. It makes no difference. Am I right? So whereas the same thing can be happened here. Okay. So we have, what's that? Cluster is there, and cluster is a group of machines working like a single machine, where you have the master node and the worker node, and then you have, what's that? Notebook. Finally, notebook means what, guys? The user interface book, where we write all the code, user related code or the user defined code onto the notebook in the following languages: Scala, R, Python, SQL, and PySpark. So these are the things we have it, guys. Everyone. Okay. So this is nothing but the basic introduction of this. And from tomorrow onwards, guys, we are going to start with the practicals. Okay. So that's it, guys. Tomorrow we'll meet at the same time. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm ending the session now.